My husband took his lover to the villa I bought, but they didn't know I was already inside, with her husband. What happened next changed everything. I never imagined I would spend a Friday night hiding inside my own villa, but there I was, sitting silently in the dark living room. The only light came from the pool shining through the glass doors. My heart wasn't broken yet, it was sharpening itself, because tonight, I wasn't the victim. Tonight, I was prepared. I had discovered the affair 3 days earlier. My husband, Marcus, wasn't as clever as he thought. He named his secret lover Plumber in his contacts. But people who cheat always get sloppy eventually. The messages weren't subtle. Can't wait to see you at the villa. She never goes there alone anyway. It's the perfect spot. Perfect for who? Not for them. Not anymore. I packed a bag that morning and drove to the villa early, not to confront Marcus, but to understand who she was, the woman he risked everything for. When I arrived, someone was already there. I heard footsteps upstairs. A man's voice. For a second I panicked. Was Marcus early? No. The voice was deeper, calmer. I stepped quietly up the stairs. Then I saw him on the balcony. Tall, sharp features, arms crossed. He turned toward me, startled. "Who are you?" he asked. "This is my villa," I replied. His expression shifted. Confusion, then recognition. "Wait, you're Marcus's wife?" The familiarity in his tone froze me. "And you are?" "I'm Ethan," he said. "Her husband." My stomach twisted. "Her..." "Yes," he sighed. "The woman your husband is meeting tonight." We stared at each other, both wounded by the same betrayal. Same story, same pain, different spouses. "How long have you known?" I asked. "A month." "You?" "3 days." He nodded slowly. "Tonight we get answers." I didn't know whether to cry or laugh. We were complete strangers. But right now, he was the only person in the world who understood me. We sat together in silence for a few minutes. The hurt in the air was thick. "Do you love her?" I asked quietly. Ethan looked out at the dark sky. "I did. Until she stopped being someone I recognized. What about you?" "I did," I admitted. Or I thought I did. "Well," he sighed, "we'll both find out the truth tonight." Thunder rumbled in the distance. The villa felt colder than ever. Ethan stood and walked to the window. "Their car will be here soon. Are you ready?" "Not even a little," I whispered. But I had no choice. This was my villa. This was my marriage. And tonight was my reckoning. Ethan turned to me again. "We should decide how we handle this. Are you thinking confrontation?" "I'm thinking truth." "Truth hurts," I said. "So do lies," he replied. He wasn't wrong. A message buzzed on my phone. "Marcus. On the way. Can't wait." A knot formed in my throat. He was excited. Excited to meet her. Excited to cheat in the villa I paid for. Ethan saw my expression. "My wife texted too," he muttered. "She said she's nervous." "Nervous about what?" "About seeing him again, I guess." My stomach churned. The taste of betrayal was metallic on my tongue. "We need a plan," Ethan said. "We can't just sit on the couch and say surprise." I almost laughed. "Let's hear your idea." He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "We let them walk in. We let them get comfortable. We let them think they're safe. And then we show them reality." I breathed in slowly. "I like it." "Good," he said, standing tall, "because they're turning onto the driveway." My heart slammed against my ribs. I moved behind one of the pillars near the hallway. Ethan followed me, staying hidden. The villa lights were dimmed. Only the pool glow remained. We heard the car doors open. Giggles. Footsteps. Her voice. Soft. Sweet. And nauseating. "Marcus, this place is amazing." "I knew you'd love it," he replied. He sounded happy. Happier than he ever sounded with me. Anger crawled up my throat. Ethan's jaw clenched. "That's her," he whispered. I peeked out slightly. She walked in wearing a red dress. Beautiful, confident, and completely unaware. Marcus placed his hand on her waist. She smiled at him in a way I never saw at home. Ethan inhaled sharply. I felt my chest burning. They kissed. Right there. In my villa. On my floor. With no shame. Ethan squeezed his fists. Not yet, I whispered. Let them sit. They moved to the couch. Laughing, touching, drinking wine. The betrayal felt louder than their voices. I felt something inside me crack. Ethan's eyes glistened with anger. Now? He asked. Not yet. I wanted them to feel safe first. I wanted the shock to hit deeper. Marcus whispered something in her ear. She giggled loudly. My stomach twisted again. Ethan closed his eyes, pained. She used to laugh like that with me, he whispered. I placed a hand on his arm. So did he for a moment. We shared the same sadness, the same betrayal, the same burning need for truth. Marcus began unbuttoning his shirt. Ethan's body went rigid. Okay now, I said firmly. Ethan nodded. Together we stepped out from behind the pillar. My heels echoed on the marble floor. Marcus froze. His lover gasped and covered herself with the blanket. What are you doing here? Marcus stuttered. I tilted my head. In my own villa? Strange question. His face drained of color. Ethan stepped beside me. His presence was icy and slow burning. Hello, darling, he said to his wife. She turned ghost white. Ethan, I can explain. Please do, he replied calmly. Marcus looked between us, panicked. This isn't what it looks like. I laughed. Then what is it, Marcus? A business meeting? He swallowed hard. The other woman's eyes filled with tears. Ethan crossed his arms. Tell her the truth. Marcus's jaw tightened. It was a mistake. No, I snapped. Mistakes happen once. This has been going on for months. He flinched. The silence after that felt like a storm. The other woman wiped her tears. Ethan, please listen. I listened for too long, he said sternly. She broke down crying. Marcus reached out to me. Please, baby, we can fix this. I stepped back. Don't call me that again. Ethan glanced at me. This night was far from over. Marcus lowered his hand slowly, realizing he had no control tonight. His eyes darted around the room, as if searching for a way out. Please, let's just talk privately, he whispered. No, I said firmly. Everything happens in front of the people you betrayed. Ethan stepped closer to his wife. She trembled as he approached. You brought him here? She asked, voice shaking. No, he replied. You brought me here by lying. She broke into deeper sobs. Marcus ran a hand through his hair. Can we all calm down for a second? I stared at him. Calm? You cheated on your wife? In her villa? And you want calm? Marcus looked away in shame. Ethan leaned forward. You two weren't careful. You got sloppy. I wasn't sloppy. Marcus snapped defensively. Then how are we here? Ethan shot back. Silence swallowed his excuse. Marcus clenched his jaw. His lover covered her face with her hands. This is a nightmare, she whispered. No, I said coldly. This is reality. I moved to the dining table and pulled out a chair. Sit, I commanded. Marcus hesitated. Sit, I repeated. He obeyed. Ethan pointed to another chair. You too. His wife sat down, shaking. It felt like an interrogation, but they earned it. I folded my arms. How long has this been going on? Marcus swallowed hard. 6 months. My chest tightened. Not 3 days. Not weeks. 6 months. Ethan exhaled painfully. And you? He asked his wife. She hesitated. About 8 months. Ethan closed his eyes in disbelief. 8 months of lies, he murmured. 8 months of betrayal. Marcus's lover reached for his hand, but he pulled away. Don't, Marcus whispered. Not now. Oh, so now you have morals? I scoffed. He winced. Ethan paced behind them. His footsteps were slow, controlled, terrifying. "Why here?" he asked. Marcus's lover looked up. Her eyes were swollen. "Because it felt safe." Ethan laughed sharply. "Safe? From what? Your spouses?" She looked down again. Marcus took a deep breath. "You made mistakes." "No," I said. "You made choices." Marcus tried to speak, but guilt strangled his voice. Ethan leaned forward. "Tell us the truth." All of it, Marcus stared at his hands. "It started at work." "Of course it did," I muttered. "She came to my office often," he continued. "We started talking." "Flirting," I corrected. "Yes," he whispered. "Then what?" "One night, we kissed." Ethan's wife burst into tears again. "Marcus," I said quietly. "Why her?" He hesitated. "Because she made me feel admired." The words hit like a slap. Ethan looked at him with disgust. "So instead of fixing your marriage, you ruined it?" Marcus stayed silent. I felt my breath shaking. "Did you ever think of me?" He looked at me finally. "Yes. Not enough," I replied. Ethan's wife wiped her tears. "I never meant to hurt anyone." "You did," Ethan said. "You hurt 2 marriages." "Please forgive me," she cried. "Forgiveness takes honesty," Ethan said. "So be honest." "Why did you do it?" She stared at the table. "Because Marcus made me feel alive." Ethan's face twisted with pain. "I wasn't enough for you?" "You were," she whispered. "But I got bored." Ethan's heartbreak was visible. I placed a steady hand on his shoulder. He appreciated it with a slight nod. Marcus spoke quietly. "We never meant for it to go this far. Yet, you're here," I replied. "In the villa I bought. With the woman you've been seeing for half a year." Marcus looked sick. Ethan stood tall again. "So, what was the plan tonight?" Marcus's lover hesitated. "Dinner, and maybe staying the night." "In our villa?" I snapped. She lowered her head. Marcus closed his eyes, ashamed. Anger pulsed in my veins. Ethan rubbed his hands together slowly. "You two destroyed trust. Destroyed marriages. But now," he continued, "you face consequences." Marcus's eyes widened. "What consequences?" Ethan smirked. "That depends on how honest you continue to be." Marcus hesitated. "I told you everything." "No," Ethan cut in. "Tell her what you told me." Marcus froze. My stomach dropped. "What did you tell him?" I asked. Marcus swallowed hard. I said I wasn't sure about our marriage anymore." The words burned like fire. "You weren't sure?" "I'm sorry," he whispered. Tears blurred my vision. Ethan shook his head slowly. "You know what she told me?" His wife looked terrified. "Ethan, please." "She said she was thinking of leaving me." My eyes widened. "For him." Marcus's lover broke down. "It wasn't definite," Ethan scoffed. "You were packing a suitcase last week." She gasped. "You looked through my things?" "I'm your husband," he said coldly. "You don't hide suitcases in the laundry room unless something is wrong." Marcus stared at her in shock. "You were going to leave him?" She froze. "Were you going to leave me?" Marcus asked again. She sobbed harder. I didn't decide." Ethan looked at me. "They were ready to ruin everything." I nodded slowly. "And we were just supposed to accept it." Marcus ran his hands down his face. "Please, give me a chance to make things right." "Give you a chance?" I repeated. "What about the chance you never gave me?" Ethan's wife reached toward him. He stepped away. "Don't touch me." She sobbed harder. Marcus stood up suddenly. "Okay, what do you want from us?" Ethan narrowed his eyes. "Truth first." "Consequences." Marcus swallowed. His voice cracked. "I'm sorry." "I know," I said. "But sorry doesn't fix betrayal." Ethan looked at his wife one more time. "I loved you," he said. You threw that away. She collapsed into tears. Marcus stepped closer to me. Please, don't leave. You already left, I whispered. 6 months ago. Ethan exhaled deeply. The room felt heavier than stone. So, he said quietly, what happens now? Marcus looked at me with fear. His lover looked at Ethan with desperation. And the night wasn't over yet. Not by a long shot. The silence in the villa felt colder than the marble floor beneath us. Everyone was breathing, but no one dared move. Marcus stared at me with wide, desperate eyes. His lover clutched her arms, trembling in shame. Ethan stood like a storm barely contained. And me? I felt strangely calm. This was the moment the truth took its final shape. You asked what happens now, I said softly. Marcus nodded slowly, terrified. Yes. Please tell us. Ethan crossed his arms. Start with your wife, he told me. I turned to Marcus. You didn't just cheat, I said. You built another relationship behind my back. His lips parted, searching for words. I never loved her, he whispered. Love isn't the only betrayal, I replied. Loyalty matters too. He lowered his head. Ethan's wife wiped her tears, shaking uncontrollably. I'm sorry, she whispered to Ethan. Are you? Ethan asked quietly. Or are you sorry you got caught? She gasped. No. I regret everything, but you didn't stop, he said. You kept going because you liked the excitement. Her face crumbled. Marcus finally stood. If you want me to leave, I will, he said. But please, not like this. I raised a brow. Like what? Like a stranger. You became a stranger the moment you chose her, I replied. He swallowed hard, holding back tears. Ethan took a step forward. Tell them our decision, he said to me. I nodded. We had discussed it quietly behind the pillar earlier. About what we wanted, about what we deserved, and about the fact that sometimes broken things aren't meant to be repaired. I looked at Marcus. I'm filing for divorce. His face collapsed. No, please. There's nothing left to fight for, I said. You threw the marriage away. Tears spilled down his cheeks. Ethan turned to his wife. And I'm leaving too. She sobbed loudly. Ethan, please. I can change. You've already changed, he said softly. Just not for me. Her cries echoed across the villa's walls. Marcus sank into the chair, defeated. Ethan's wife slid to the floor, clutching her chest. The reality shattered both of them harder than we expected. But consequences come from choices. And their choices were clear. I took a deep breath. Leave the villa, I told them. Marcus looked up slowly. Tonight? Now? I said firmly. I need space. And dignity. Ethan nodded in agreement. Go? He told his wife quietly. She hesitated. Please don't do this. Go? He repeated. Marcus helped her up. They looked broken, small, and lost. Two people who thought they were in control. But control is a fragile illusion. They walked to the door slowly. Marcus turned one last time. I'm sorry, he whispered again. I didn't answer. Some apologies come too late. They left the villa, closing the door softly behind them. The silence afterward was different. Calmer, cleaner, honest. Ethan let out a shaky breath. It's done, he murmured. Yes, I said. It's finally done. We stood there for a long moment. Two people who walked in as victims and walked out standing tall. I walked toward the balcony. The night air was cool against my skin. Ethan joined me. You okay? He asked softly. Ask me tomorrow, I said. Tonight I'm just breathing. He nodded gently. I get that. We stared out at the glowing pool. The water moved slowly, like it understood the calm returning. Strange night, Ethan said with a tired laugh. Strange year, I corrected. He smiled faintly. What will you do now? Heal, I said. And you? Same. We stood silently again. Not as strangers, not as victims, but as people who survived something heavy. Thank you, Ethan said suddenly. I looked at him, surprised. For what? For staying strong. It helped me stay strong too. I smiled softly. You helped me too. The villa no longer felt haunted by betrayal. It felt like a place of truth now. A place of endings. And maybe beginnings too. Well, Ethan sighed. I should head out. Do you have a place to stay? A hotel, he replied. For now. I nodded. You'll be okay. You too, he said. He walked to the door, paused, looked back at me. If you ever need a friend, you know how to reach me. I nodded. Good night, Ethan. Good night. He stepped out into the cool night. I closed the door gently behind him. For the first time in months, the villa felt like mine again. My chest felt lighter. My future felt clearer. And my heart, finally free. I walked to the window and looked out at the stars. Betrayal broke me, but truth rebuilt me.